So already you have studied the entire chapter. So what is air pollution, global warming, greenhouse gas effect, water pollution, what are the precautions and what precautions related air pollution, what is ozone depletion and at present. So which are the vehicles we are using related air pollution. So air pollution, there are different types of pollution. Pollution is nothing but changing in atmosphere may be changing in water resources or changing in noise or sound etc. So all it is related to called pollution. So changing from a clear solution to a unpurified or the maybe it is a changed in state. For example, in atmosphere nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide etc. it is present. So it will change. So what will happen? So for example, we have studied in air pollution the two terms that is called greenhouse effect. So we have observed already the PPT and also presentation through we have studied. So now what is the greenhouse effect? For example, greenhouse or nursery. So where we are observed already the total plants is covered with the plastic. So these plastics what it is represents. So what are the plants? The plants will release oxygen, they'll absorb carbon dioxide. So the sun emits heat and light. So after that, so it will absorb. The heat is generating through the earth's surface. It will be trapped under the chamber. So that is called the greenhouse. So carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, so nitrogen dioxide and oxides of nitrogen, all these are called the pollutants. But here the methane is the one and the carbon dioxide, it is called the greenhouse gas. We will say, so that is called the greenhouse effect. The earth will reflect or it will regenerate again the heat towards the atmosphere. But so in a green net maybe totally what we call greenhouse, in that the carbon dioxide and the warm temperature will be there. So it should be there in the earth's surface also because we are surviving based upon that. A little temperature is necessary to survive each and every organisms. Now that is called the greenhouse effect. Next we have studied that is called the global warming at present topic. So the exhaust or maybe the vehicles, the automobiles will exhaust a gas called carbon monoxide. Sometimes earned diesel and petrol leads to carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide when you burn the firewood, and maybe from the tree there is oxygen, and the factories release nitrogen dioxide or oxides of nitrogen. All these will, the sun emits light and heat, especially heat. So when it will emit heat, the earth's surface temperature will be raising day by day. So there is gases released by all these. So this temperature will go to the atmosphere. Again from the atmosphere it will reflect back to the earth. So they are maintaining the earth atmospheric temperature. So in certain condition, the rays in earth atmosphere, so that is nothing but a term called global warming. We have studied already. The rays in earth's atmosphere suddenly is called global warming. It leads to different types of mainly threaten to human being. That is called the global warming. The next one, so when the absorption of heat on the earth's surface is less than in the atmosphere, it is less than the in ocean or sea. The reason is water, the heat capacity is more, 1000 times more than the earth capacity. So here water will take the temperature, it will absorb the temperature 1000 times more than this. So that's why it will be, the sun emits the heat, so it will be absorbed inside the ocean. So here we can observe the global warming, and here, so it absorbs the heat where it will take the time to reflect. So it is not so fast like on the earth's surface. So that is nothing but global warming. We are conducting two experiments I have taken already. So now I will take the two balloons. One balloon is just an experiment, don't conduct at home. So it is risky and maybe it is a danger. So that's why whichever experiment is there we are conducting in our practical classes here itself. So just observe. So I blow the balloon. One, it represents earth atmosphere. Keep in your mind. So one balloon, so I blow the balloon, so only air in that, so that represents Earth atmosphere. So one more balloon I will take, that is filled with water, that represents oceans. So now I'll take the mastic or maybe candle, so then I'll bring here to both the balloons. First, so when I'll touch the balloon with the candle flame, what will happen? And when I'll take the candle flame near the balloon which contains water, so what will happen? So that represents a small activity. So here the air capacity it is a low, Earth atmosphere temperature it is heat absorbent it is low. So in the atmosphere than oceans. So that is a very simple experiment, but it is we have taken. So I am taking now balloon, but don't try at home without precaution, because sometimes it will maybe blast, maybe it will burst and maybe it will break something. So that's why it is danger to your eye also. Don't try at home. The next one, so we have studied the two topics. That is the one, air pollution. The second one we have studied, that is called water pollution. Any undesirable change in hydrosphere or in water source, that is called water pollution. Any undesirable change. So we have observed many slides related water pollution. So in water pollution, so now I am taking a clean water in a bowl or in a vessel, a glass vessel. So that represents the water source. So then what is water pollution? Imagine on the earth's surface 3/4 it is covered with water, we know that. So in that 1% or 2% only it is fit to drain, that is called potable water. In the any undesirable change means what? So growing population or desire, human desire leads to the different terms. Any undesirable change in hydrosphere is called water pollution. For example, think it is a pure water or a river or ocean, etc. So first, as a human being, so we are responsible for different terms or whatever the changes in our surrounding. The first one, so if we wash the clothes, washing clothes leads to, or maybe after washing our clothes in water resources only, or maybe river, pond, etc. So it consists of detergents. We are using detergent, soap, etc. So all that leads towards the water resources. That is the one. Second one, so we'll take bath in some river, pond, etc. and we'll take the bath of some animals also. Then it leads to water pollution. Soil particles. So we have studied already. So coal, combustion, fossil fuels, etc. Soil particle. It is a mixture. Soil is a mixture. It consists of different types of particles. So maybe fertilizers or maybe manure or maybe cow dung, etc. Everything. Mainly the soil includes many minerals. So when it will flow to the river source or pond, ocean, etc., it will pollute the water. Lead to a term called water pollution. Next, oil seepage. So mainly we know that. So ship, boat, etc. Mainly huge ship, etc. So the oil seepage, leaking of oil. So mainly it leads to the water resources, or from the vehicles, or maybe from the garage, etc. So it flows to water. The next one, fertilizers. We are using high amount of fertilizer to our plants, where it consists of nitrogen, phosphorus, potash. So all these including macronutrients, micronutrients, everything with the water. So during rainy season or any other, so it will flow to the water source where it will pollute the entire water. Sometimes dead bodies also will be there inside the water. So we have studied Ganga Action Plan. So a holy water changed into a highly polluted water with a bacteria called coliform bacteria. So highly polluted water. So if we drink that same water, so then we'll get different types of diseases. So that's why, so here this is called one step in a water pollution. So that is the one. So we are conducting experiment. I conduct an experiment related air pollution. There is nothing but global warming. The second one, so how the temperature is absorbed by the oceans 1,000 times more than the earth's surface. So that is an air atmosphere. The third one we are studying, that is called the water pollution. So we have studied the pollution. Any undesirable change in an atmosphere is called air pollution. Any undesirable change in water sources or water resources, especially when it is lead to a term called water pollution. Now we are conducting a few experiments related air pollution. One experiment I will conduct now. So I have gathered all the waste papers or maybe the dried leaves, etc. I burn now. So that's why I said don't try any experiment. Don't do any experiment at home. So we'll guide you here in our practical classes how to conduct all experiment with precaution measures. Sometimes maybe, as I said, it will burst, sometimes maybe it will catch fire, etc. So that's why don't conduct any experiment at home. Maybe it is very easy. So without your parent help. So every experiment we are conducting here just to know the point. So I am conducting a few experiments. First I am conducting air pollution. So where we are burning the waste papers and dried leaves, what will happen? So it will release this high amount of a gas called carbon dioxide. If it will have burned, so for example diesel, petrol, so as a fossil fuel, then it leads to CO2, carbon monoxide. So this is related air pollution. Any undesirable change in an atmosphere leads to the different terms. So we are studying now with an experiment that is called air pollution. Second one, global warming. Third experiment we are conducting related water pollution. So don't do, again I will repeat, don't conduct any experiment at home. Let us conduct experiment related. So one, global warming, the next one water pollution, and then the third one is air pollution. So I have taken already a balloon. Don't try at home. Again I will repeat, don't try at home. So I have taken a balloon. This is an example for Earth atmosphere. So air is there inside. So I have blown the air. So that's why air is present inside the balloon. So I have taken one more balloon. So you can see the heavy. So that is nothing but water in a balloon. One is air in a balloon. Second one is water in a balloon. So both I heat now. It means just I bring the candle near, or maybe I bring the flame near the balloon. What will happen? So this is just an example for Earth atmosphere. What will happen? Observe carefully. So as we are learning the global warming, the temperature if it is high, whether the earth will reflect. So air temperature is more or less than ocean temperature. That's why so we are studying this experiment. So I will bring near a balloon, go through it. So that represents the air inside the balloon. So that is an example for Earth atmosphere. So air, the pressure of the air, so leads to the global warming. Second experiment we are conducting now. So if I heat the balloon, whether it will take that same time. So I light a candle. So now I have taken water. Don't try, again I will repeat, don't try at home. So within fraction of second, so balloon has blasted. Now whether the water with the balloon, a balloon containing water will burst, let us see. So it takes times. See, this indicates the 1,000 times the heat is absorbed. So we can see only the black residue. So that is because of the flame. The flame of the candle consists of what it will releases. It releases carbon dioxide or carbon particles we can absorb. So but within fraction of second, if the air is present, the balloon will blast. But if we heat the balloon, nothing will happen for a while. The reason. So if I go on burning, or maybe try to take the flame here, so it will burst. But with the water it absorbs the heat. So that's why it takes time. So this indicates an experiment related global warming. So don't conduct, again I repeat, don't conduct this experiment at home. The next one, so we are conducting an experiment related water pollution. So related water pollution, absorb. So I have taken little water in a vessel, that is in a glass vessel. So this is called the pure water. So think it is a river, a ocean, etc. So it is just an experiment. So now what we are doing? So as I said, there is a fertilizer, oil seepage, etc. So if we use, or maybe from the garage or maybe from the factory, it will release us oil. So if I pour the oil, what will happen? Whether it will sink, absorb carefully. So absorb, the oil consists of, it will float on the water, that is the first. So absorb the changing for color of a water first, it is colorless. Now the next one, I'll add some chemicals because we are using fertilizers to plant. So the first one, any chemical. Same thing, that is nothing but it is a changing. So now see the color, the third one. So these are all fertilizers. So some food color or any I use, go through it again. First we have added the oil, the next one fertilizers. Now think, imagine whatever the color from the factory or anything, so that change the color. Next, oil. So after burning a diesel or etc. through the engine, see the change in the color. Next, I'll add the soil because the soil is also one. So where we are using, soil consists of all the microorganisms which we cannot absorb with the decomposers like earthworm, but it consists of living organisms also absorb the color, change in color. So it consists of some dried leaves and some saprophytes. So this is the soil. The last one I'll add still. So maybe in your mind the question will arise now. So teacher, which are the things, whatever you use, that is only leads to water pollution. Still many more is there because you are in 8th. So just a demonstration related on water pollution. Now I'll add, so urea. So what we are using, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potash together as called the fertilizers. It's not manure. So first whatever I use, that is called the manure with the soil. Now the next one, we can see the particles, that is nothing but NPK. It is available in market, that is called the fertilizers, man-made fertilizers. In your previous lesson you have studied. So now I'll add that one. So now see the result. So now just I'll mix all these one, just go through it, all the particles, and still if I throw some of the papers or waste material, a dried leaf, etc. So it takes time related. So if I throw the whatever the paper cups, if we use, sometimes we will throw to the water, flour or etc. whatever we are used, or maybe some plastics also after. For example, if I use the plastic, so I will use the soil particle in this. So now if I throw to the water, so imagine the condition. So all these water, as I said, a pure water is changed into a different form. You can observe there are different layers and some will float on the water, or maybe dried leaves, or maybe paper, or maybe plastic. Some are degradable, which can be decomposed by bacteria or other fungi, etc. But some cannot. For example, plastic. It is a polyester, so it is not at all degradable on the earth surface. All will pollute. Now you think, there is a question mark, can I use this water? So whether it is for a potable water or maybe polluted water, totally. So we have taken a pure water after that, this is just a demonstration to go through all that one, whatever it is there, but when the entirely polluted, this water cannot be. So same thing like in Ganga water now at present, imagine the condition. So there is a plan now, Ganga action plan, in Swachh Bharat campaign, where so the first step, because Ganga water is used by many area, so that's why we have to control. We are responsible citizens of India, so we are responsible for each and everything. So that's why it's not only my duty, everyone, so you have to join our hands together, so related all to protect air pollution, water pollution and sound pollution, etc. So where we have to pure the water. So we have studied already how to purify the water, like water treatment. So that's why whatever water is available in your place, preserve, save each droplet of water, so for the future generation and for us to survive on the earth surface. That is my message. The second one, so that is called water pollution. Now still it is the danger one experiment, so we are conducting here, but don't try at home. Again I'll repeat, don't conduct any experiment at home. So the third one we are conducting, that is related air pollution. So as I said, some materials, for example, if I take a little plastic, so if I take little plastic, so what we have studied, that is called global warming, paper, waste papers, dried leaves, some wet leaves, or maybe the wood or wooden log, a little wooden log, that is a piece of with the soil particle, plastics, everything. So I'll burn now. What are the changes you can observe? Observe carefully. So light the candle. This also may be easy, but don't try at home. This is just a demonstration. So now I'll burn. See the smoke. Observe carefully. See the smoke consists of a black residue, that is nothing but so if I burn the plastic, what will happen? Observe carefully. This is just a demonstration. So it changed into, see the changes. So black residue, carbon particle and the smoke. So imagine a little fire can fill this entire class with the smoke or with the carbon monoxide, and imagine the condition on the earth's surface. If everyone or every human being will burn all the materials like this, or maybe it is just smoke of a fire, but if you burn, for example, the smoke released by factories or maybe refineries or oil refineries, imagine the condition. One best example we have given, that is the Taj Mahal. So it is affected by the air pollution. So all this only we are breathing inside more amount of carbon dioxide. So we are inhaling oxygen, but at present, so in our nature, imagine, so if I burn the total, maybe all the waste materials, plastic together, so it leads to a black residue or the smoke. It will fill entire earth surface and it warms the temperature, suddenly leads to a term called global warming. So this is related, the three experiments we have conducted. Don't try at home. So that is my advice. Don't conduct any experiment we are conducting in our practical classes. So that's all about your lesson and your experiments. Thank you very much.